What's up, boys? We're back in the garage, and today we are working on the Mustang once again. I have to do some things to get it back on the road and to get it past inspection. One of those, we need a horn. And then the second thing is for racing, and I want to set this two-step up on a button rather than off of the clutch. So currently, in order to engage the two-step, the clutch has to be completely depressed. And so with that, it's hard to slip it when it's on two-step, because once that clutch lifts up at all, the RPMs just raise back up. It doesn't hold the two-step pegged anymore. So that makes it pretty difficult to want to slip the clutch. Currently, I've been just dumping it. So having it on a button and not released by the clutch will be a little bit better. That way I can slip the clutch and have it engaged, so to say, a little ways before we just launch off the line. So that brings us to the mod for today, which is my steering wheel. You guys know I have had this in the car for quite some time. If you're interested in how this goes in and comes out, I'll leave a link in the description and also up here on the video so you guys can see the install of the Sparco steering wheel with the NRG hub adapter, quick release, all that fun stuff. The bracket that you see on the steering wheel is the Sparco bracket. You can see the packaging for that over here. And the buttons are from Motion Raceworks. And initially I was just going to install Motion Raceworks brackets, but you have to drill holes into your steering wheel. And to get my buttons over far enough, I would have had to have made them crooked. It wouldn't have looked really good to me, so I blended the two kits together. The Sparco ones comes with like some cheaper buttons. I'm not a big fan of those, and it doesn't really have a bunch of wiring. It just has the basic connections, whereas the Motion Raceworks buttons come with the longer wiring, and the buttons are high quality. Listen to this. So that sounds way better. I mean, it feels better in my hand. And yeah, so obviously red is going to be the angry button, so the horn, and then the green is going to be the go button, so the two-step. So it'll be perfect. That way I can have my left hand on the two-step and my right hand on the shifter when we're ready to launch at the light. So over at the car, I've already taken apart the hub and the adapter, dropped this down, and I have found out that the blue and white wire is the horn. So out of the harness right here that would clip into what do you call it, your clock spring, this is the wire for that. So I went ahead and depinned that, and I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. Let me get a light over here so you can see a little better. You have your harness here. This plugs into your clock spring. In order to depin it, you have to take out the red piece. That's a retainer that locks the pins in place so that these wires don't just come falling out. It's kind of like a safety backup, because there's also going to be a tab inside of here that you have to release when you pull the wire out. So let me take this tab off, and all you're going to do is pry on one side and the other, and then lift up, and it will come all the way off. So you just pull up, and then you can pull it out. Now that you have the red tab off, you can kind of see that down in there, you can see the pins. That's the shiny piece there. That's the end of the wire. But down inside of there is actually, that's like some fuzz on there. There's actually a little tab that you want to push. If I can get some light behind it, you'll be able to see it. It's really tough to show because it's such a small little area. But what you're going to want to do is just get a really small flathead like this that you can stick down in there. And then you're just going to pry the little tab up, and then you'll pull the wire from below, and it comes right out. And the horn on this car is the blue and white wire. You guys can see that. And I believe it was in this back corner slot right here. You guys can tell we have progressed quite a bit with taking the car apart. I took the center console out so that I could take the screen and stuff out, because if you look back here, that hole right there it's just perfect. It fits. I have a nut and a bolt that fit in it just tremendously. So that's going to go in there. I've wired up the little eyelets for the ground wires for the switches, or for the buttons more so, and ran them back down. I'm going to run them up alongside these wires here so that I can tape them all together in unison, or just have them all running beside each other just to make life easier. So now I'm just going to shrink that down. It's on there super snug. It's crimped, and then bolt it up, and then we will have the grounds wired. Then all I need to do is I'm going to extend this one a little ways, just so I have more slack with it. And yeah, and then we'll wire it up to our switches. blue and white wire, the horn wire, around the white. And then this one, you mother trucker. This is all temporary. Of course, I got to wire it up right. And then we're just going to ground this one on the little column here. And it's not going to do anything until I press the button, because that's what connects the ground. So if you can see over here, we have the red button, and if you listen, you guys saw under the hood that light was flicking on and off. That's the button initiating the light coming on and off. So I'm not sure why it's not holding at the RPM that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be at 2,000 RPMs, but I need to just check this real quick and make sure I have those numbers set up right. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's working. I'm so happy. I'm not a wire guy. I'm not an electrical type of guy. I don't claim to be. This is all new to me. But that is super exciting to get not only the horn working, but to get the two-step working on a button. It was something that I was wanting to get friends over and do all that, but then I just kind of made it a point. Like, you can do this. You can figure it out. You have the internet. We're quarantined, so we can't go anywhere. So you better just learn something new. And I did, and I'm really, really excited. So now I need to clean all this mess up, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. You don't really care about tucking wires and seeing that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and handle all that, and then I'll bring you guys back when everything's buttoned up. Alrighty guys, you can see we have our cables hanging down. Everything's buttoned up. If I hit this one right here, it's the horn, so that works great. We have our N gauges hooked back up over there. Our air lift is working. Let's see if we power the car on. Air lift. And then we go over here. N gauge is working. Everything's working as it should. The green button does control the two-step, so that's nice. These do hang down a little far, so I may have to see what I can do about running them back under the dash a little ways. I do just need enough slack to be able to take the steering wheel off and slide it up top. So I'll have to figure that out one of these days. But yeah, everything is buttoned back up. And I did get the UPR bars on the back for the submarine belt. My bad. I thought they went on the front up here, but they actually go on the back per NHRA rules. And then the submarine belt will obviously feed right through here, or the crotch belt. So I have it on my seat as well. You can tell it's right here. But yeah, car is coming together, looking really good. I am super happy with the way these turned out. The Motion Racework buttons are super nice, and the Sparco mount just makes it a seamless install. So I really, really like that. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions regarding the buttons or the steering wheel setup, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description for the initial install of the Sparco steering wheel with the NRG adapter and the quick release. I did end up having to use the just standard butt connectors for these cables because the weather stripping ones, I didn't have the right tool to crimp them, and it just wasn't working out super easy. So I went with butt connectors. In the future, if I need to undo them, when I go to redo them again, I'll probably use the female to male ones that connect into each other, so you can unclip them if you need to. But I really don't see a need to be unhooking and hooking these things back up at all. So I'm just excited. I have a horn again, which is super exciting because I haven't had one of those in probably 2 years, 3 years, about 3 years. So it's nice to have a horn again. I can pass inspection without having to swap over my stock steering wheel. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is super cool. I'm stoked to have the two-step on here. It's going to make life so much easier when I'm at the line. I'll be able to let that clutch out just a little bit, let it engage, get to the top of it, and I can slip it the rest of the way. And being able to hold a two-step on a button is going to make that possible. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you boys back here next time. Take it easy. Peace.